News with no bias news.
News with no exemptions delivering nothing but the truth.
This is International News Report.
Good day, people. I am Belen Huino, your anchor for today.
And I am Jimul Dawis, your anchor for today.
For today's episode, we will talk about the Philippine-Australia foreign policy and its relationship with each other. To begin with, let me call on Miss Reynera.
Miss Sergas.
Miss Braga.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Have a seat.
So, for the first question, can you give us an insight on how the relationship of Philippine and Australia started?
The earliest sea links between the Philippines and Australia have been through the explorations being conducted by Spanish sailors in the Pacific. One of the bodies of water that connected the Philippines and Australia was the Torres Strait. The people who inhabited of Torres Strait were of Melanesian descent and spoke two distinctive languages.
Furthermore, another contributing factor to early Philippines-Australia relations is the Philippine migrant workers. The earliest Filipino workers were called the Manila Men, and they worked in the pearl industry in the northern Australia. Mostly from the central and southern part of the Philippines, these Filipinos were responsible, daring, and fatalistically brave. Filipinos played an integral part in the development of the pearl, Trocos, fish bomber industries in northern Australia. In 2016, a group of indigenous Australians who are descendants of the Manila Men came to the Philippines. In 2016, a group of indigenous Australians who are descendants of the Manila Men came to the Philippines to trace their ancestry and meet Filipino relations.
Next question. How did Philippines and Australia strengthen their relationship?
The Philippines is one of Australia's longest-standing bilateral relationships. We have shared interests and values, supported by strong people-to-people links. Australia is home over 250,000 people of Filipino heritage, with over 10,000 Filipino students enrolled in Australian universities and vocational institutions. Australia and Philippines marked 70 years of bilateral relations in 2016. Australia and the Philippines marked 70 years of bilateral relations in 2016 and will showcase the close and broad relationship. Formal relations between commenced with the opening of Australia's first Consulated General in Manila in May 1946. Today, the relationship have grown and encompasses an ever-increasing people-to-people link, development assistance toward sustainable growth, trade, and investment to expand economic ties, defense, and law enforcement cooperation. Australia and Philippines have a long history of bilateral cooperation. Both countries have much in common. Being geographically proximate and sharing perspectives on many regional, economics, and security issues. The signing of the Joint Declaration of the Philippine-Australia Comprehensive Partnership on 18 November 2015 marks a new era for our bilateral relations. The Comprehensive Partnerships acknowledges the increasing breadth and depth of Australia-Philippine relations and set the tone, pace, and direction of our relationship in the years ahead. Australia, as a long-standing friend and neighbor of the Philippines, will continue to be a committed partner in the pursuit of sustainable development in the Philippines. Growing people-to-people links are encouraged to trade, investment, cultural exchange, education, tourism, and migration. More than 250,000 Filipinos have made Australia their home, and they continue to make positive contributions to Australian society.
So for the third question, what are the contributions of the Australian to the Philippines?
This year, Australian aid to the Philippines will be more than 6.8 billion. Australia is the largest bilateral grant donor to the Philippines education sector. And during his visit, Ms. Bishop announced a further 6 billion in assistance through the Basic Education Sector Transformation Program. Any assistance must build capacity for future prosperity, so to bolster economic growth, Ms. Bishop also pledged over 111 million for much-needed infrastructure projects across the Philippines through public-private partnerships. Australia will also help to support and implement the peace process in Mindanao, with an additional 240 million pesos committed. And it is hoped that finalization of the agreement will see greater peace and security for the Philippines and greater prosperity for that region. On defense and security, ministers and secretaries expressed their satisfaction that the status of visiting forces agreements in force since 2012 is being implemented successfully. Under this agreement, Philippines Defense Force personnel received training in Australia, and it allowed for the swift deployment of Australian Defense Force as assets to affected areas following Typhoon Yolanda. Next is the disaster risk management. Was able to strengthen the partnership of the Philippines and Australia. The Australian government introduced two projects that would enhance the capability of the Philippines to withstand climate change and natural disasters. The Australian government has provided monetary help to strengthen the capacity of the Philippine technical agencies in assessing preventive measures and actions. Australia also contributed light detection and ranging, or LIDAR, technology to help the Philippines assess to its vulnerability and prepare for the future calamities. Also, Australia has collaborated with the United Nations. United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, in helping the Philippine National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, develop a vulnerability map of Metro Manila. The Philippine-Australia Community Assistance Program has created the Microfinance Technique, which guides development organizations on how to properly manage microfinance projects. It also aims to help non-government organizations and communities in developing their own projects. Another is the Proceedings of the National Forum on Community Development, which is a collection of best practices from the program and fellow NGOs. It assisted community-initiated development efforts and focuses on improving the economic development of rural areas. This program supports Australia's goal of helping the Philippines realize its economic potential.
Furthermore, the following are humanitarian efforts by Australia starting from 2003. In 2003, Australia provided a housing project to victims of the Ginsalgon landslide. Australia Aid donated 37.3 million to support the relief and rehabilitation activities in St. Bernard in February 2006. In 2003 again, Southern Leyte landslide. In 2006, the Australian government contributed 50,000 Australian US dollar or 1.9 million worth of emergency humanitarian relief after the Typhoon Milenio, international code name Sang Sein, hit the Philippines when it struck the country.
Good day, everyone! This is my co-host Marge.
And this my co-host Charlize.
And this is Fun Fact! Let's start with Marge.
Did you know that the Philippines is derived from the 16th century Spanish King Philip II and is It is a truncated form of Philippine Islands. During the expedition of Ruy Lopez de Villalobos to the region, the Spanish sailor Bernardo de la Torre bestowed the name Las Islas Filipinas on the islands of Leyte and Samar in honor of the Prince of Asturias. Despite the existence of other names, Filipinas was eventually adopted as the name of the entire archipelago.
Did you know that over 300 different languages and dialects are spoken in Australia, including 45 indigenous languages?
Did you know that the Australia is derived from the Latin Australis, meaning southern, and specifically from the hypothetical Terra Australis, postulated in pre-modern geography? The name was popularized by the explorer Matthew Flinders from 1804, and it has been in official use since 1817, replacing New Holland as the name for the continent.
In 2010, an Australian election TV debate between then Prime Minister Julia Gillard and then challenger Tony Abbott was rescheduled so it didn't conflict with the finale of reality show MasterChef. Did you know Australia will keep on hiring Filipino as it faces skills start? Some recruitment agency even partner with Australian Employment Agency to deploy skills overseas Filipino workers. Without fees and it's based to take the proper way of getting Australian work permit. Do not work there using a tourist visa. Person who employ after refer an illegal immigrant for employment face a penalty of up to 2 years in prison and $55,000 US.
Did you know that the Filipino community is one of the fastest growing community in Australia? And it includes more than 10,000 Filipino students enrolled in Australian universities. According to the 2016 census, New South Wales is home to the biggest number of Filipinos. In 2011, 70,388 Filipinos lived there.
And use our hashtag #FastPhilippine to Australia. And follow us on
Our social media accounts on Facebook, FunFacts, on Twitter @FunFacts, and on Instagram @FunFacts. And don't forget to send us some fun facts also.
That's all. Thank you.
Again, this is International News Report.